Hello, I'm Dr. Melita Tate with Grassroots Healthcare, and we are talking with Joe at Be Love Studios today. We are broadcasting next door to the Be Love Studios, and we're going to have lots of exciting things to talk about with yoga. Joe works with the Be Love Studio, so thank you for joining us
thanks
today.
For having me.
Great. All right, before we get started, for those of you who don't know who we are, Grassroots Healthcare is a clinic. We're located at 91st and Sheridan. We don't take any insurance, so we have time to take care of our patients instead of pushing around insurance dollars. We are more focused, we're focusing more and more on wellness and bettering people's health. And our main agenda is to take people off of medications and get them well nutritionally, with diet, exercise, changing our nutrition, and also with herbal type remedies, more natural health care. So the second we start a patient on a medication in our clinic, we're already beginning to think about how we can get them off of those medications. So that's what Grassroots Healthcare is all about. Our office visits are discounted because we don't take insurance. We don't have to hire people to file the insurance claims, things like that. So it's a pretty good deal. You come see us, right?
That's how we met.
Mm-hmm. So we have lots of patients who do have insurance and lots of patients who don't have insurance. The patients who do can get lab work and medications on their insurance, but just not the office visit. And so that's our clinic. Like I said, 91st and Sheridan. If you or somebody you know doesn't have insurance, or who has a high deductible, or is interested in taking their health to a new level, coming off some of their medications and looking for more natural remedies, just give us a call at 918-878-7733. A couple things I want to point out to you before we get started is at the bottom of your screen, if you're watching this live, there is a place for comments. Please feel free. We'll be monitoring those throughout the show. So if you have questions for Grassroots, if it's something that we can deal with on the show, we'll try to answer it right here and now. And if not, we'll try to get to it either on a later episode or to message you after the show. And if you have questions about yoga or Be Love Yoga Studio, just type in your comments down there, and again, we'll be monitoring those off and on throughout the show. So please welcome with me Joe Piccarelli. Is that how you say your last name?
Yep.
Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit today about his studio, the Be Love Yoga Studio, which they're having a class right now. So we opted for the Quiet Library right next door in the Phoenix. Where are we exactly?
We're at 6th and Peoria. The Phoenix coffee shop is kind of the anchor for this area. They've been open for about a year and a half. I think maybe 2 years, and we've been open for about a year. And when Phoenix moved down here, it kind of started opening this area up. There's a lot of amazing things happening. There's a art bar down the street, Papa Ganoush, which is a Mediterranean restaurant, another bar called Lot 6. We've got Maid across the street, so there's a lot going on. And it's kind of the anchor, and it's basically our waiting room. So if people come early to class, they can come stop in, hang out, and get a coffee before class starts.
Perfect, smart. We decided to have the show from here because even though Grassroots is clear on the other side of town, on the south side, like I said, Joe's ventured over there to see us, but I hadn't ventured over here to see him yet, despite his invitation. So this is one way I could find out where the studio was, so I could get over here and get my yoga on, which is what I need to do. And so we've been talking this week with so many of our patients and staff members about how breathing exercises and different things can alter our fight or flight response, and all those hormones and chemicals that are being dumped in our systems that are negative. We don't want to eat cows now that are in unhealthy circumstances because of all the hormones that are in them. Think about us and our kind of caged rat phenomenon that we have. And so one good way to get your exercise and at the same time to promote peace and healing within the body and flip yourself from the fight or flight mode into the rest and digest system is to do yoga. So I'm going to allow you to tell us a bit. Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be a yoga instructor. Is that what they're called? Okay.
Yeah. I was introduced to yoga through a friend that I met at a retreat. And it was a spiritual retreat. So for me, it was a way to meditate. So often people come into yoga for the physical aspects of getting a workout. but for me it was the opposite. It was so I could actually stop and focus. Not that I have ADHD or anything like that, but it's just, you know, with so much things going on in the world, it's like we're always doing things. And so for that 1 hour, 75 minutes during yoga class, I was able to just focus on my breath and what I was doing within my own body. And so that's how I got started. And then shortly after I took my first yoga class, I decided I wanted to start a yoga festival. Wow. The I Am Festival, which is
fast tracking.
Yeah, nobody knew who I was. They were like, "Who's this guy that's doing the yoga festival?" And
but it made that big of an impact on you.
Yeah,
that you were just so excited about.
I used to be a political activist, and so instead of
it's a good way to bring both worlds together.
Yeah, instead of changing everybody else, I was starting to change myself, and like saying with that same sense of activism, like trying to show everyone else how to be able to do that. And so the festival's still ongoing. I no longer take care of the festival, but from the festival, the Be Love Studio started, and so now we have 5 to 7 classes every single day. We have, you know, we're moving up to hundreds of members, teaching them how to breathe and to be aware and comfortable in their own bodies. And I was just talking, I taught the 9 o'clock class this morning. I was just talking about how breathing calms your nervous system, and it changes, you know, from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic. And even specifically breathing through your nose versus breathing in and out of your mouth. So like when you get afraid, you're like, so changing that. And how the benefits of it are when you're putting your body in a stressful twist, instead of freaking out, you breathe through it, and then that is literally changing you from the inside.
Right. It changes our brain to know that we can go through those situations without having to dump fight or flight chemicals into our system, and so kind of retrains the brain, just like physical therapy will retrain the brain where your intranucleus is in space so it can function normally. So this will retrain our brains to function normally under stress, and which is an invaluable service to the community. So thank you from the medical side of things for having this for patients and for Tulsans. I'm sure that it allows us time to think and become more aware of what it is that we need to be focusing on instead of the million things that take up our time every day. So with that, I did want to, you said something that made me think. There have been studies recently that show that meditation can actually change our DNA. It has to do with fraying of the telomeres on the ends of our DNA and aging, turning off certain genes, and so it can alter dis-ease process within the body, or things that we've, with the medical community, have just thrown drugs at. There's ways to meditate and turn on genetic things that can help you clear out viruses, cancers, things like this, because it does change our DNA. So there's great health benefits from it, not just the exercise.
Yeah, and it's proven now. It's not just like
legitimacy has been born.
It's not metaphysical. It's like there's studies that prove that yes, if you do this, and it's just a matter of moving your body and breathing. It's very simple, like thinking about it.
So many of my patients have never ever done yoga. They've seen it on TV, seen certain positions, you know, sun salutation or some warrior pose or whatever. So in honor of it being Valentine's Day, we wanted to interview Joe about a special kind of yoga that he called acro yoga, which is kind of like a couples yoga, but not necessarily.
It's like acro for acrobatic. So
right, so you don't have to be super physically fit, and it sounds scary. Acrobatic yoga sounds like something I would not want to start with, but
it's very simple. The most thing that people can relate to is being Superman on your parents' legs, like flying. You know, they lift you up. That's like one of the first poses we learned. It's called bird pose. It's very simple. Everyone can do it, either base it or fly it or both. And one of the main differences with acro yoga is
overweight people can do it?
Yeah. We have large people come.
Okay.
I've not been able to. I've lifted everyone that's came into class.
Okay. Wow.
And we have, you know.
Anybody out there that wants to test this theory, please.
We have giant guys that are, you know, I'm 6'6". We got guys that are 6'6", 260 pounds that no one else can lift. And like, you know, I can at least get some of the basic postures with them. And we have, you know, middle-aged women and young kids. Like, it's open to everybody. Everyone can do something. But with yoga, traditional yoga, you're going inside, finding your own breath and posture and having more awareness within your own body. Where in acro yoga, it's almost the exact opposite. You're having to communicate with somebody else. You're having to put your trust into somebody else, and you're touching somebody else. Mm-hmm. And so it creates a very, a trusting relationship with someone that could be your partner or not. You know, we work in groups of threes. There's a base, a flyer, and since there's someone up in the air, there's a spotter. So sometimes couples come and they're working with a third person that they've never met before, or some people show up by themselves and they're thrown into the mix with the couple. And so you immediately become friends with somebody when you're falling on them and sweating and laughing with them. It's like hard not to.
So great place to meet someone.
Yeah, sure. It's like acro yoga. It's like a whole little community in itself. Like besides everyone that does yoga at our studio, the acro community is very unique.
Neat. Very neat. I'm super excited about this. Now, it makes me think of my staff at Grassroots who are still very, very reluctant to come on the show with me. I'm working difficult. Kelly's giving me the most difficulty. We are doing a show, by the way, next week, an extra show from Vegas. And Kelly and I will be there together next week. We're going to be studying hormones and different kinds of therapy we can do to help with people's sex drive, but also help with their energy level, their fatigue, their bone strength. You know, of course, we'll talk about it more from the sex drive because that's what people are interested in, but it helps lots of different things. So we're going to be broadcasting live from Vegas next week. That's an extra show, but Grassroots Healthcare TV we put on our shows the first and third Friday. And then, again, like I said, we're going to do an extra show next week, but it makes me think of my staff who need to, we might want to do like some kind of a ropes training or something to add extra trust between us or to build trust. They do that for corporations. This sounds like a great way to do that with staff.
Yeah, we've even had, the TU cheer team, the freshman cheer team, come. And, they're already cheerleaders, so there's already a lot of trust. This is a whole different level of intimacy within a group of people, of like trusting and learning new things. And so we've done that before. It's super fun.
Great.
It's like hard not to leave laughing and like having new insight on your friends.
So if there's any, and Grassroots has lots of small business owners, by the way. Some people think that because we're a clinic that takes care of patients who don't have insurance or who have high deductible insurance, that maybe we have indigent patients, but that's not the case at all. We have lots of small business owners, realtors, people who run landscape business, things like that, whose insurance is either just there for emergencies or who haven't been able to purchase insurance yet because they're not in a big group. And so we have lots of small business owners out there. So if any of you guys are interested in ways to build your team, or to have a team building exercise, I bet you could contact Joe at the Be Love Yoga Studio, and they may be willing to travel. They may be willing to have you guys out here on a certain night for activity. Couples who are interested. I was telling Joe before the show, maybe it sounded like a great date night to have your boyfriend. So I may ask mine to see if he wants to come over and do some couples yoga with me. Yeah. And of course he's not going to say no because it's Valentine's Day weekend, right? And he's expecting me to treat him good, so he's going to want to go do something that I want to do. And so if you guys if you ladies out there have boyfriends, this is a great way to
our 5:30 class tonight is actually acro yoga.
It is.
We have a community class every Friday at 5:30, and we're doing acro yoga tonight since it's Valentine's Day weekend.
Nice.
And then we're heading to Oklahoma City. Yeah, tonight at 5:30.
Anything this weekend?
Tonight we're going to Oklahoma City, so we'll be at Hidden Dragon Yoga, teaching actually partner yoga, which is a little more intimate, specifically for couples on Saturday, and then acro yoga on Sunday.
In Oklahoma City?
In Oklahoma City, yeah, both in Oklahoma City.
So if my patients were to come to a yoga class, can they just drop in, or are they supposed to call and make an appointment first?
No, you can just show up, and drop-in's only $12. We've got a special at the studio, $20 for your first 2 weeks, so you can try out acro yoga, all the other traditional yoga classes, and we have restorative, we have power, we also have a belly dancing class. So we offer all styles of yoga, and our big thing is we don't have a type of yoga that Be Love Yoga teaches. We have our instructors teach what they love, and so we've got different styles, each different teacher. We have like 13 different instructors right now.
So that'd be 13 different styles at least.
Basically, yeah.
So who teaches the acro yoga? Do you teach it?
Margot and my girlfriend and I both teach acro yoga.
So if any of you are interested tonight, we're at 1310?
Yep, 1310 East 6th Street. So we are right off the corner of 6th and Peoria, right next to the Phoenix Coffee Shop.
So if you guys want to come at 5:30 tonight for the acro yoga class, bring your date.
Or if you don't have a date,
or if you don't, come on, you might.
Maybe you'll walk out with a date.
So we'll do acro yoga, and if they want to check out what times are available for yoga classes, where would they go?
BeLoveYogaStudio.com has a full schedule. You can click the classes and read the class descriptions. You can meet all our instructors and read more about the instructors. We have instructors from age 18 all the way up to in their 60s. So we've got a wide range of instructors that goes along with a wide range of yoga.
Wonderful. Let me see if we have had any comments. I don't think we have any new comments, so we'll go back to our show. So, is there a phone number they can call?
Yeah, my cell phone is the business phone. It's 918-605-8221. So if you call, I'll be the one to answer. You can ask any questions that you have about the studio, about coming to a yoga class or acro yoga class, how to purchase and everything.
All right. So, ladies, he does have a girlfriend. I saw that. So, just because you have a cell phone number. All right. So, thank you very much. Yeah. I appreciate you joining us on the show. You're welcome to stay. We're going to do a few more little housekeeping things. But this is Joe, everyone, from Be Love Yoga Studio. Thanks for joining us so much.
Thank you, Dr. Tate.
You too. Come see us. All right. Okay. All right, so moving on, a few little things I wanted to tell you guys about that we're going to do this week at Grassroots Healthcare. The past week's been great. One of my favorite patients this week, and the favorite quote of the week I want to share with you, came from one of our patients. Usually it's a staff member that makes me laugh this hard, but one of our patients this week, we spent some time talking about ways to get her more active, and we talked a lot about gardening. She's getting really excited about the warm weather, and the trees are starting to bud out. So we were talking about how she wants to get out and dig around in the dirt, different things like that. So the quote of the week from this patient was how much she loved her garden, and her daughter was standing there with us, and she said, I'd rather have that than a man. So that was our favorite quote of the week for our patient. Her daughter and I tended to agree with her that could be better, and she's older, and she didn't really wasn't really in the market for a man at this point anyway. But it was very funny, and I wanted to share with you one of my favorite quotes of the week. We write these things down in the back. You guys may not know this, and we don't write who said them, but we'll put up a quote of the week on our back door where we keep all of our goals that we set for the week that we work towards. And we all, for the last month, we were all writing up 3 things a day that we were thankful and grateful for. And then we write up our funny quotes or our inspiring quotes for the week. So that's the one from this week, is that having a garden, being able to get out and work in the garden, that's better than having a man. That's what she said. So, not that it's better than men. A man could have said it, that's better than having a woman. And I'm rambling now, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, so what's coming up this week? I have the Ask Dr. Tate live segment on here. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to go down below and the settings on your computer, and there'll be a place where you can comment, and we watch that live. So I'll get back to that here in a few minutes. But please, if you have questions, go down there and comment. We are giving away a hormone panel this week. The last week's winner was Eric Maroney. I hope you didn't mind me saying your names on there. Sorry, Eric. Anyway, so we had one person win one of our panels. And so next week we'll have, sometime during this next week, anybody who comments on there will draw from that, and we'll announce that we had a winner, and you guys can private message me if you want to change it from one kind of panel to something different, or test for something specific, either thyroid hormones, something else. But we're giving away a free hormone panels on each show. We'll do one for the Vegas show too. And so anytime that you guys are on, if you make a comment at the bottom, you'll be entered in our free giveaway, and we'll get back to you and let you know what you win. Okay? So we did have a winner this past week. And so Kelly and I are getting prepared for our Vegas trip. Kelly's buying some new clothes that are comfortable, yet attractive, and I'm still trying to get her to commit to be on the show with me in Vegas. She was going to come down here today if she'd had enough time, she said, and run behind us really fast on the screen, so we're making progress with her. But she's not really willing to be on the show yet, so you guys encourage Kelly to be on the show if you can. If any of you guys that are watching know her, please tell her how photogenic she is. She's absolutely beautiful. She's my nurse practitioner at the clinic, and we got some great compliments on her yesterday from some of the patients who think she's absolutely hilarious, and also who like her just as much as they like me and want to continue and come back and see us because our clinic is so much fun. And we thank you guys always for those great comments that we get on Facebook. Okay, so let's see. We're going to talk more about next week. We're going to talk more about the free bioidentical hormone panel, and we're giving away one office visit and one hormone panel next week in Vegas. Joining us, hopefully, I will have the economy pharmacy. So the economy pharmacist who's going with us to Vegas join us. He's been on the show once before, so we'll have him join us next week. So get your questions ready. If any of you have people you care about who you think that their energy level, their bone health, those kind of things need to be addressed or seen, we'll be glad to look into those things. At Grassroots, we try to find more natural ways to support you both hormonally. We like to use a lot of different essential oils. Weight-bearing exercise is a good way to support you, and so and we work with the breath and with yoga. We teach a few breathing exercises a lot of times during our exam, so we're really excited about getting you healthy, but we also like to do lab work and testing where it's indicated and to prove whatever modality we're using, whether it be natural, whether we're doing nutritional therapy, wild yams from Aikens or Whole Foods or what have you. Whatever we're doing, we like to assess it with you and see the progress that's being made, both in your body on a cellular level, but also on a, at a laboratory level where we can kind of prove and show the progress that's being made and monitor it. And that gets everyone excited, myself, my staff, patients, everyone. We had a great time this past week with one of the physical therapists that came in from Excel Physical Therapy, or with the Excel Physical Therapy rep. He showed Kelly. Kelly was the guinea pig. She frequently gets that role, and so we did a test on her muscles with. They use acupuncture needle now, so we're starting to see the acupuncture component of health coming into the mainstream medicine, which is always physical therapy has been more utilized by doctors. So what I'm seeing is people are starting to wake up to the fact that there is real value in these ancient healing arts, and they've in the past only been kind of considered very alternative by medical professionals, as we're starting to see physical therapists use acupuncture needles and do some electrical stimulation to muscles and watch how that's helping these patients. They have a technique now called dry needling, and Kelly got quite good benefit with that. They use it for migraines, they use it for fascial inflammation, and they're using it. They don't really have training in the different meridians like the Chinese people do, but they are seeing some benefits. We're seeing things cross over. So if you're interested in that, or you have migraine headaches or anything like that, let us know. Excel Physical Therapy did a great job teaching and training us about that, and we'd love to refer you. One of the interesting things I found was that we had a guest there that was just kind of observing, and he has history of practicing yoga and acupuncture, and was talking about how they would use a tuning fork which vibrates different frequencies. And with my learning that I've done, where they've vibrated different plates and they can see different patterns, star patterns and circle patterns, circle of life patterns, different things come up with different frequencies as they change them on this vibrational plate that has sand on top of it. And many of these are ancient drawings that we see on the Egyptian hieroglyphs and even things that predate that. We were talking about, we use muscle stimulation and electricity to stimulate these muscles with these acupuncture needles, but what if you use a tuning fork? What if that tuning fork is set at different frequencies on a cellular level? If frequencies affect water and sound waves, what could that do to your muscles and cells, and how could we do something to show the improvement? Our resident professor that we have from TCC, who shall remain nameless, but it's a good friend of mine, is consented to find out if he can find any universities that have an electron microscope where we can do some of these kind of studies. So that's something to look forward to that's coming up on future broadcasts. Those of you who are interested in Mikey's recipes, she's got some recipes on our Pinterest site that we can try. So if any of you want to go on our Pinterest site and try some of Mikey's quick, easy recipes for the evening, especially you working folks who get home and don't have a lot of time to cook. One of my friends that came in to see me last night with his service dog cooks dinner frequently in the evenings, and so he may find some of these recipes helpful. Mikey, though, is going on a diet. She's consented. Grassroots Healthcare has been very proactive in helping our staff with health matters. So she is consented to document this. She's going to take some pictures from the grocery store tonight because she's going to get all the stuff she needs to do this, to do her healthy eating. And she's going to take before pictures and pictures on day 20 and day 40, and she's consented to let us show those. And so we'll be following her progress on the Grassroots Facebook page. And so we're very excited about that. So you guys can watch with spring cleaning coming up and everyone wanting to do detoxes and different things with their bodies and to shed some extra pounds and get more healthy. Mikey's going to kind of be our prototype and go forward with that from the health perspective. We have several educators coming in the month of February and March. So February, the next week at Grassroots, we're going to have a lecture, and then again that weekend, at Saturday at 1 o'clock, we're going to have a lecture from different nutritional aspects and ways we can eat cleaner and healthier. So if anyone wants to join us, be watching for that, announcements on our Facebook page, and sign up for those classes, you can. And then follow Mikey. She's going to share with us how she does with her weight loss successes, and we'll go from there. So if any of you are interested in that, let us know, and we'll get back to you about that. I'm going to just go here real quick and recheck see if we have any, looking to see if we have any more comments. I guess we'll get to the comments later if we do have some. Let's see here what we've got. Nope, at this point, no more comments yet. Many of you are watching this live, but I know a lot of you will be watching it later tonight when you get home or get off work. So feel free to put your comments on there anyway. We'll go ahead and enter you in for the drawing for the free office visit and healthcare panel. It looks like we're getting close to being out of time today. Let me make sure that we hit everything that we wanted to talk about this time. We may next week do the reading of Roald Dahl, The Witches. I'm going to do a quick reading at the end of the program about the witches for the kids. I meant to do that today, but we're kind of running out of time at this point, so we'll get to that on the next show. And so before I go, one more time, I just want to tell you guys we're at V-Love Yoga Studio broadcasting live today. So if any of you want to bring your dates out tonight at 5:30, they're going to have kind of a couples yoga. It's called acro yoga. It's lots of hands-on. Even if you don't have a date, lots of people come that are single. So we said you could leave with one. Be sure you check out V-Love Yoga Studio, whether it's tonight, whether it's during the week next week. They have great deals going on, and if you're a small business owner or want to do something with them, get a hold of Joe. He's got some great ideas about that. And going forward, if you guys are interested in seeing us at Grassroots Healthcare, or you know someone who could benefit from our services, please send them our direction. We'll help them as much as we possibly can. This week, we were able to get a patient off of their high blood pressure medication with just nutritional changes, losing about 5 to 10 pounds, and making some nutritional changes in their diet. And then as going forward, we added some magnesium supplement and were able to take them off of hydrochlorothiazide, which, although it's a great diuretic for some people, it can increase people's risk for diabetes and insulin resistance. So going off the sugar, getting the inflammation in the body down, gets the water retention down, gets the need for having the HCTZ on there in the first place gone, and then we're able to eventually eliminate that medication. So far, blood pressure's been perfectly normal, and patients are very happy to be off a medication that they don't need that could potentially be causing them long-term side effects later on down the line. And so we're extremely pleased and excited about that. So any questions you guys have for me, just feel free to message us at Grassroots Healthcare, and we'd love to see you at our office at 91st and Sheridan. Give us a call, 918-878-7733. Thank you.